Hello, I'm Will, welcome to the Tesla Jigsaw. Who'd have thought it? It's happened again. Tesla's Q2 of 2023 just broke its production record again and made almost 480,000 cars in the past 3 months. Add this to Q1 production of this year and that's over 900,000 cars. If Tesla decides to take an unusual break from growth for the rest of the year, which it won't, this would still put them on track for 1.8 million vehicles made this year, which is their guidance figure, but I reckon 2 million vehicles is what they're really aiming for. And this will put Tesla over its 50% annual growth rate target for deliveries. This has happened pretty much every year since 2012, and in some cases has reached 87% growth year over year, as it did in the year 2020 to 2021. Growth of this magnitude is not normal, and reminds me of the Ford Model T production line. Check this out. At its peak, Ford produced over 2 million Model Ts a year before the Model A was launched in 1927. That's a lot of cars built in the olden days, isn't it? There are most certainly similarities between what Elon Musk has achieved with Tesla and the groundbreaking disruption of what Henry Ford did back in the early 1900s. So who is making the most EVs on the earth today? BYD in 2022 made 1.8 million plug-in electric cars. However, almost 1 million of those were hybrids, which are just heavier internal combustion engine cars with a teeny tiny battery pack plus a little electric motor that still requires fossil fuels to propel it, and it still pollutes. I don't count these as electric vehicles, and neither should anybody. They were a sort of good stepping stone towards full electric vehicles, but now 300-mile range EVs do exist. Buying a brand new complex hybrid is a bit daft. Tesla then is still way out in the lead for producing the most electric cars than any of its competitors. Tesla will not slow down until they hit their goal of 20 million vehicles per year run rate, which will be made possible by expanding current factory capacities, building new factories, and its rapidly improving manufacturing capabilities. Tesla has the cash and the capabilities to do this. I cannot wait to see the production line for Tesla's Generation 3 platform, which will no doubt be using front and rear gigacastings, a structural battery pack, and will be produced using Tesla's totally new and unique unboxed process of building cars. Quite possibly by utilising Tesla bots to put each section together before the final assembly. How do you feel about that? Will these metal monsters snatch away our jobs, or are they heralding an unprecedented era of growth and progress in the labour market? Let me know your view in the comments below. So I was trying to get that fly all day. So did those Tesla price cuts help? It's almost as if Tesla has its finger on the pulse of its car sales and adjusts prices accordingly to the demand for its cars in each country around the world. Oh wait, it does do that. Tesla has an internal system that can see its car sales each day in real time. This is thanks to them selling their vehicles online, rather than the ancient approach of make cars, sell them to dealerships who then mark up the prices and convince gullible people that they are getting a bargain. This is also known as robbery. Purchase a car from Tesla and you will pay the exact same purchase price as everybody else. But the real-time data here gives Tesla a huge advantage over other car makers, as it can tweak prices here and there depending on demand, seasonality, and other such sales-affecting points. We can expect Tesla then to continue adjusting its prices accordingly to consumer demand. But over time, as Tesla continues to drive down the cost of manufacturing, their cars will become far cheaper to buy, yet offer more value, better performance and features, and continue to be far safer than anything else. Don't trees usually crush cars? Remember, the Model 3 is 30% cheaper to build now than it was at its release. Plus, Tesla has shown us its plans to halve the cost of building its new Generation 3 platform vehicles, which we can expect to hear more about soon, especially as these cars should be zooming off the production line in late 2024. Tesla has just released this great little video of the current Model Y. Let's take a look.
My name's Lars Moravi. I'm the Vice President of Vehicle Engineering at Tesla Motors. A lot of people love crossovers, and they love crossovers for the right reasons. There's a lot of storage, there's a lot of utility, and I think what we wanted to try to do when we made the Model Y was sort of take that notion and just blow it up. Our cars have always had great range and great dynamics. In the Model Y, we actually added what we call off-road mode, which is a little bit of that brake torque vectoring to like on steroids. Maybe you're doing a little bit of river rocking and one wheel gets off the ground. We clamp that down and the other three put torque forward so you still keep moving. And that's something, gives the Model Y a capability that you might not otherwise get in a pretty sporty crossover SUV. At Tesla, we always start at a first principles approach. You don't get to say, well, we've done that for 50 years, so that's the way we're going to do it for the next 50. You have to prove everything you're doing from the ground up with, first principles of physics and mechanics, and really that's our boundary. It's like, what does physics say is the envelope? And that's as far as we'll take things. There's been a lot of talk about the rear casting and how cool it is and what it does, but one of the problems when you make big pieces of aluminum is that they warp when you heat treat them. Well, with Model Y, we actually invented our own alloy that is able to achieve super high levels of strength and durability, so that saves money, cost, energy, because we don't have to heat treat it with these giant ovens. But more importantly, keeps the part straight, and that means we don't have to machine the whole thing. From an engineering geek out standpoint, that's like one of the coolest parts of the thing is like, yeah, you can look at it and say, okay, they replaced 100 parts with one or two. But really, the alloy and the material development on that was super special because we wouldn't have been able to do that without it.
They invented their own alloy? Who does that?
At Tesla, we've always tried to constantly improve our products. Then to integrate all the functionality that you have in a typical crossover is something that's super important. So the cargo space in the rear, the additional cargo space in the front, fold flat seats that give you this wide open area if you need to do it, the towing that we have on the back end, all of that combined, and then saying, you know what, it's still going to be a Tesla when you drive it. People that like to be dynamic, they're going to love it. People that want to sit up high and see the road, they're going to love it. People that have a family and need the storage space, they're going to love it. Every car we build, every new product we make, I want to take it a step further. I want to make people's understanding of what an EV can be and what a product is, make it a part of your life, a part of your experience. Ultimately, it results in a product people love, and that's when you know you've hit the right point of vehicle engineering.
So that was Lars Moravy, the Vice President of Vehicle Engineering at Tesla. I love hearing from the engineers, the real people that actually design, build and make Teslas. The first principles, ground-up approach runs through the heart of Tesla, which is the physics behind the mechanics. Is it possible? Does physics allow it? The very essence of Tesla comes from the enthusiastic, boundary-pushing engineers and seems so far removed from traditional automakers' stagnant, boring, tried and tested, unconnected, miserable lumps of dumb metal. Unless you like that sort of thing, of course. But there you have it. The end result of a Tesla Model Y is an uncompromised product that people simply love. If you are yet to drive a Tesla, book yourself a test drive, even if you have no intention of buying one, and see for yourself what all the fuss is about and why it is that Tesla is creating so many Tesla addicts like me. Card in the corner if you want to see my Tesla pandemic video where I discuss the dangers of the Tesla mind virus. It can happen to anybody, you've been warned. And yet again, the Tesla Model Y has become the UK's best-selling car, not just in the EV category, all cars. And it kind of shows. There's so many Model Ys driving around my town every day. We used to play Spot the Tesla with the kids, but now it's about as tedious as playing Spot the Lamppost. Always in the news for something stupid. Sorry, that was terribly rude, isn't it? Toyota, the most backwards-looking, unimaginative, stuck in the ice age, pathetic EV offering, lying, manipulating, headline-grabbing, nonsensical, impending doom of a company, have just announced that they've made a technological breakthrough in solid-state batteries that could give 745-mile range with charge times of just 10 minutes. Wow, amazing. Hang on a minute, didn't Toyota already announce this 5 years ago and then a few years after that? Hang on a minute, are Toyota just full of shit? Let me see. They've been ignoring the EV takeover for over a decade. They've had their misleading, lying advertisement campaigns banned in some countries for being so utterly misleading and lie-y. They've been pushing hydrogen cars, despite the enormous evidence that for cars, it's a stupid idea for so many reasons. The complexity of hydrogen, the cost involved for not only producing it, but the infrastructure to support it, plus the cost to you, the consumer, in having to buy the expensive, highly explosive hydrogen gas and then sit your family upon it and hope that you're never in an accident. Because wow, you can really be shot to the moon faster than Tesla stock if a fully laden tank of hydrogen were to blow beneath your bottoms. It's amazing, with all of these past Toyota supposed breakthroughs in battery technology, that the best they have to offer in the year 2023 is the BZ4X, or the BuzzForks as I've heard it referred to, with an astonishing real-world range of 227 miles using a 71 kilowatt-hour battery pack. Just for context, Tesla's Model Y long range uses a 75 kilowatt-hour battery and delivers 351 miles of range. On every metric that matters, the BuzzForks is a pathetic electric car, which will still probably be bought by unsuspecting, gullible people who won't think to do any homework whatsoever when choosing their new electric car. EVs are not created equal, and if you make a poor choice, one that's underperforming with very limited real-world range, one that has poor software interface, a terrible app, slow charging speeds, a lack of decent features, yet still has a price tag to match a Tesla, please don't be one of these people. You will regret switching to an electric car because you made a poor choice. Do a little research, compare the specifications of many EVs, and if in doubt, talk to other electric car owners. I guarantee they'd be happy to talk to you and give you honest feedback about their cars. Failing that, talk to me in the comments below, although I think you can probably guess which cars I'd firstly recommend. Just to finish this Toyota rant then, could it be that Toyota want people to believe that just around the corner will be this groundbreaking time where all electric cars will have a 700-mile range, despite nobody needs that much? Make 2 cars out of that battery instead. Duh! And magical charge times of just a few minutes, and technology far in advance of Tesla or anybody else for that matter. Why would they keep making these announcements? Are they implying that if individuals delay purchasing an electric vehicle just for a short while, Toyota will eventually reveal their groundbreaking pioneering technology in battery advancements, establishing themselves as the market leader after all? It's almost as if Toyota wants people to just continue buying engines for now. Weird! Let's just ignore the fact that Toyota doesn't even make batteries currently and hasn't actually shown us any breakthroughs in their labs of this genius upcoming technological breakthrough that they keep mentioning year after year. Just keep buying ICE cars from us now, and we'll let you know when decent EVs are finally ready. What a strategy, Toyota. Fool your customers with false promises. I don't think they have any plans to build a serious EV contender. And if I can see through their lying, manipulating strategy, so can everybody else. A bit harsh? I don't care. I've seen enough lies coming out of Toyota over the years that I really don't mind calling them out on their BS and giving them a nice roast. To end on a high though, let's look at Tesla's share price, which is also high, up over 160% this year as of recording. And yes, as a long-term investor, it matters not what the share price is today, but it's still nice to see it, isn't it? Just another 42% rise will have it back to all-time highs. Where will the stock be tomorrow, next month or next year? Nobody knows. But as I've talked about today, with Tesla's continuing record-breaking production and deliveries, their engineering genius and compelling products, coupled with so-called competition being decades behind the EV revolution, don't underestimate the potential of Tesla. Do like and subscribe and hit that little bell end for notifications of new videos from me. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm Will, this is the Tesla Jigsaw. Thanks so much for watching.